How's it going on here? For the love of God, please don't add geometry to our video games. I always knew that math and video games wouldn't make a great pair. The Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo's first home console. We don't count the color TV game, it was a Pong console and didn't have the ape. After the Nintendo 64, Nintendo decided to make an add-on for it, the Nintendo 64 Disk Drive, or N64DD. It released holiday 1999 only in Japan and it flopped hard. They still used cartridges when everyone got into CDs, and still with the disk drive, they used magnetic floppy disks when everyone began to start using DVDs. While the DD was in circulation and even before the DD was released, Nintendo started production on the next big console. Codenamed Project Dolphin, the console looked far different than its finished state. Project Dolphin was officially announced in May of 1999, 7 months before the N64DD released. After that flopped, Nintendo showed off the Dolphin, now called GameCube, publicly on Space World 2000, alongside some tech demos of future releases, such as a new Banjo-Kazooie game. It never released, they showed off too soon, a new Zelda game, but we got Wind Waker instead, not complaining, but many people did not like that. Super Mario 128, it showcased the power of the GameCube by showing 128 Marios in a plain terrain that was always changing. This game would later become Pikmin and years later Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii. The Nintendo GameCube released in 2001 in Japan and in the US, and the rest of the world in 2002. The GameCube launched with a ton of games, but the best ones were no doubt Super Monkey Ball, Wave Race Blue Storm, and the main one, Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, this time Nintendo decided to not include a Mario game at launch. Instead we got Great Mario with a capital L in a haunted mansion. And they saved the Mario game for the next year. 1 week later, Pikmin and Super Mario Bros. Melee launched because Nintendo couldn't wait to launch the damn cube. Now let's talk about it. Do I like this design? No, I don't. It's not practical and it looks awkward next to other regular consoles. But in defense of the design, it's charming. Come on, it's literally a purple cube. Well, actually the measurements don't match, so technically it's not a cube. Nintendo, why did you make this? At least the handle is cool. The main difference of the GameCube comparing to other consoles is the media they used. This time it wasn't cartridges, but mini DVDs. They were made by Panasonic and they were made to be anti-piracy. Because this was a new format, it was difficult to pirate, but it was proved wrong. Because of its size, it couldn't hold much storage and thus, developers shifted to other consoles such as the Xbox. The thing I hate about these discs is that they tend to suffer disc rot more easily than a normal DVD disc. I bought Mario Kart Double Dash with my GameCube and the disc had disc rot, so I returned it and got a new copy later. A tip for everyone that has GameCube games: if you point a flashlight to a GameCube disc and the light clips through the disc, there's a chance that it's rotten. Now, the controller. Oh, how I love the GameCube controller. It may look weird to people that never felt happiness, but it is perfect. My only complaint is the D-pad. It's very small, but besides that, it's the best controller Nintendo has ever made. And it doesn't surprise me that they still sell controllers with this design for the Switch. It's the best controller for games like Smash Bros. Now let's move over to the games. The GameCube had one of the best library of games of any Nintendo system. The thing about the GameCube is that they didn't skip any major Nintendo series, with the exception of a Yoshi game and a Kirby game. We got Kirby Air Ride later on and it's a fantastic Kirby racing game. It's completely 3D and has some neat mechanics that we had never seen before. However, some main Kirby games were planned for the GameCube, but they got scrapped and some got reworked to future Kirby games, like Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Wii. The main Mario game from the GameCube was Super Mario Sunshine. This game is awesome. Mario, Peach and Toadsworth spend vacation on Isle Delfino, but a certain someone that resembles Mario is spitting goo all around the place. So Mario and Flood, the water tank, go to different areas of Isle Delfino to clean the goo and in general Mario stuff. I love Mario Sunshine, it's my favorite Mario game and even if Galaxy exists, I still prefer Sunshine. Luigi's Mansion is the game to pick a GameCube with. This game is basically a tech demo for the system. The first iteration of Luigi's Mansion is fantastic and it's a fun parody of games like Resident Evil. It's kinda short, you can finish it in a day, but it's still a fun experience. But the Mario series didn't stop there. We got Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, and often considered the best of the series. We got a lot of Mario sports games: Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, Mario Power Tennis, Mario Superstar Baseball, and Super Mario Strikers. And the party games were one of the best of the series. Mario Party 4, Mario Party 5, Mario Party 6, Mario Party 7, and some say that Mario Party 8 was meant to release on the GameCube, but got pushed on the Wii on a last minute decision. We also got Mario Kart Double Dash, easily one of the best Mario Kart games of all time, and my favorite. The gimmick of Double Dash is 2 drivers per kart, a gimmick never seen in a Mario Kart since. This is one of the few Mario Kart games that I recommend playing to this day. It's chaotic fun in multiplayer. Wario World also released on the GameCube, and that's amazing. Wario representation is what we need on Nintendo consoles. Animal Crossing got started on the GameCube only in Europe and in the US. The original Animal Crossing released for the N64 DD in Japan, but because that system backfired, it only released outside of Japan on the GameCube era. Pokemon also got games like Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. F-Zero got its last main iteration. F-Zero GX is the definitive F-Zero game. Since then, the series has been dormant, and I'd love to see it return. I miss F-Zero, and I hope Nintendo brings it back in a creative way. Metroid got Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This was the first time Metroid was seen in 3D, and it was a success, and looked nothing like the 2D games, and was a breath of fresh air. Zelda got The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, a game that got mixed reception at launch, but nowadays everyone praises this game, and it makes sense. Wind Waker is a game with a new art style, but it's still a Zelda game, and a good one at that. Later on we got The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and this game came out the same day as the Wii, so it released both on the Wii and on the GameCube. Donkey Kong got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and the Donkey Konga series. These games used the DK Bongos accessory a lot, and it was the whole point of it. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast was planned to be released on the GameCube, with the name DK Bongo Blast. It got pushed to the Wii, and it flopped pretty hard. Pikmin got its start here with Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2. This series of games are so underrated, and they need more love than they get. But last and not least, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now this is a game that everyone won't shut up about. When a new Smash releases, it replaces the other, but for Melee, that's not the case. This game, 20 years later, is still being played competitively and casually. It's more on the competitive side. This game has one of the most popular esports community. But why is that? The game is fun, it's just that the game is insanely fun. A variety of new characters, new stages, more trophies. Melee is one of the best GameCube games of all time, and it doesn't surprise me that it's the most sold game of the console. The GameCube had one of the best add-ons of any system, the Game Boy Player, letting you play Game Boy, Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games on your TV. This is why you should get a GameCube with a Game Boy Player. This feature is amazing and lets you play games like Metroid Fusion or Super Mario Land on your screen. The Super Game Boy from years prior had a similar feature of playing Game Boy games, but this one is miles better. Sadly, the GameCube got discontinued in late 2007, and its last game was Madden 08. What would you expect? Wario's Woods? The GameCube ended up selling around 22 million copies, and compared to other Nintendo consoles, this one didn't sell well. Even if it didn't sell much and died too soon, there is no doubt that the GameCube was one of the best consoles Nintendo has ever put out. Great games, amazing controller, awesome handle, these GameCube factors make the GameCube my favorite console of all time, especially the handle. The GameCube was a good console, and I'm glad Nintendo never ported Jagger's Party Quiz for it. I don't want Jaggers to be associated with math, the mere thought of it makes me mad.